I think I'll just go by feel. You know, the thing is, like, sometimes feeling actually just works. Think about your nakamas. Think about the hardship you've faced. So we're gonna do this run where we're not even destroying the core. Because, like, what would it feel like, or how would the run go if you cannot really destroy the core? I'm gonna need to heal soon, but that's fine. Okay, this is one of those ones where we actually were unlucky, didn't really kill a lot, but that's fine. Just SMG or AR, AoE that. Perfect. Now we can start focusing on the mobs a little bit. Yeah, there. Ideally we destroyed the mobs, but that's fine. Okay. Hit rate from the plus. Okay. The boss doesn't deal a lot of damage because we kind of reduced the mobs. I'm gonna use my healer for Haran to heal. Or not Haran, Helm to heal. Okay. We have been dealing a lot of damage. We could actually like ignore the core, and I think it is actually more damage. But I guess the problem is more yeah, if we're just barely defeating the summon parts, it's better to ignore the core. Like by the time they resummon around this time at 1 minute left, I think it is good to just focus on the ports instead, so we get the parts damage. Because at level 7, okay, I'm gonna pause right here. At level 7, the parts points is 11 mil only for core damage, and then port is 9 mil. If we're just barely destroying all the body parts, or not even destroying all the body parts before they respawn, then I think it's probably better to just focus the other body parts instead of the core. Now here comes the tough part though. At around 55 seconds, this is when the mobs respawn. Get ready. I'll try to have a lot of, yeah, shoot here, right there. I'm not gonna use my burst here because we don't need to. But I'm gonna see if we can. Right there, AoE the second wave. Again, the AoE timing on the second wave is huge. Right? So now we can kind of just, yeah, and look, we're barely damaged there too, because we killed pretty much all the mobs at that point. So that's because the core has high HP, right? So we're kind of fucked if we can work around not destroying the core, basically. I'm gonna use rip. Oh, actually, it's almost done anyway. Yeah, that's how you do the run without machine gun. And we're using AoE burster instead. And so, okay, in tangent to that, all right, let's start talking about the different team comps because, okay, yeah, that's the beginning of the video. But let's start talking about the guide here that we kind of put out: team building tips and mechanics tips. And I haven't wrote down the timing for the burst 2, but I showed it in the video anyway. But let's talk about the team building tips. One thing is Dorothy alone can kind of deal with the mobs, like those when you just deal 1 damage. And so Dorothy alone can deal with the mobs, and so you don't really need any machine gun, submachine gun, assault rifle, or whatever. What I just showed you is this team comp though, the one that we just did. I have like a submachine gun, assault rifle, so this, and then like a rocket launcher and a sniper rifle and another sniper rifle. This doesn't have a lot of hit count, but we managed to make it work. Obviously we have our healer, so you could put in Rapunzel here or Emma or whatever your healer is, and then you're just gonna pop their burst whenever you need the heals. And then you have your AoE burster, which will kind of deal with the second wave mobs, and this is where the team comp second team comp suggestion that we have, which is the AoE burst. And if you time your burst properly, you're gonna be able to just wipe pretty much the second wave, and then the third wave you just kind of deal with it. Either you shoot them or ignore them. It's up to you how you want to deal with it. If you still have, you know, shield up, then you could probably just let it be and just cover instead. So we have that, and then there's the basically the boss pattern. You know, he'll do the bombs and then he'll do the shield up at the beginning. This is the beginning, and then there's the first mob of waves that are the ground mobs, and then there's the second mobs of wave. The first mobs of wave, again, we just have to, it happens at around 2:30 minutes. 2 minutes 30 seconds left or something like that. You can just kind of deal with these mobs with normal attacks. Don't you save your burst. This is what, and I would like to credit Mr. Kanto from the stream to giving this suggestion to us. But yeah, we have that, and this is when you do your burst, when the second wave of mobs appear, and that's the strategy behind it. Ideally, I would recommend machine gun, because if you do the machine gun in that part, you can deal easily on the third wave, because the third wave, now you just use your machine gun to kind of deal with them easier. But if you don't have machine gun, that previous run that we did, we actually just used this one, right? There's not a lot of hit count on this one, but we still managed to do it. And then you can replace your healer if you can survive, because doing this mechanics will actually allow you to doing the mechanics will actually properly allow you to survive this boss, so you don't really need the healer. Actually, this run can be completely done without the healer if you actually do properly, and you don't have to destroy the core. But in this situation, for Mr. Kanto's run that he did, he was focusing on the core. But again, how I see it is, if you're barely like destroying all the body parts, I think I would just go with destroying the summon parts instead, because that will net you a good amount of points, and destroying the core is only 11 mil. If you know how to play around the mechanics, then you don't really need to destroy the core. But it does help if you can destroy the core and destroy the summon ports, then I would opt into that strategy instead. So I would go with that instead. But yeah, other than that, MG just kind of makes it a lot easier. But AoE burst is actually a really good strategy. There's a lot of substitutes you can do. You have Varan, you have Scarlet, Maiden, Privity, Yulha, and Epinel. You have that. Oh, Mihara, by the way, does it too, if you really don't. And maybe you could check it out if she actually will be able to wipe out the mobs fast enough for you. But if she doesn't, then probably need something else. Yeah. And I believe D also does it. Yeah, D has an AoE also, because she does AoE also. So perhaps that AoE was enough to that you could use that as well. Isabel does have AoE burst also, but it's a very low multiplier, so I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough to burst. That's how you kind of deal with the mechanics of the boss. You don't really need a healer, but there are, obviously, if you're pulling your above your weight, then that's when you start needing a healer. Yes, indeed, that's when you start needing healers. But it is possible to opt in without healer, and maybe that additional DPSer will actually be enough. Talked about this one. These are the substitutes, and I'll for anything additional, I'll update this if I find out more. But this is how you kind of build your team. Actually, I'll show you the different teams that I have actually, and I'll let you know. So these are the 5 teams I've currently have planned actually. So I have the Dorothy team comp with Alice and Maxwell, and then the second one is I have a litter with Modernia in here. and Scarlet. So you have the AoE and machine gun here to deal with it. And then I have my third team is I have my Snow White team, and I have Yulha, which is a timing buffer, good for Snow White, and she does AoE as well. And you know, if you don't have Yulha, Privity also works, but you know, obviously you could be using Privity somewhere else, but Privity also works, and there's a lot of other substitute that you could do. And then I have this one. Initially I was using Guillotine here. That's my team 4 with Rupee, and this one Volume and Haran, and then Helm as my healer. And then my team 5 is actually this one. I have Sakura, Emma, Laplace, and Maiden, and Diesel. So I have 2 machine guns here dealing with it. Laplace is kind of like my main DPS, and then I have Sakura as my cooldown reduction. So each team actually have a cooldown reduction: Dorothy, and then Litter, and then Dala, and then Volume, and then Sakura. So that's kind of how I split up like the different teams because of the cooldown reduction. But that's kind of how I did it. You could, and these are kind of like the team comps, and the way I see it is like I'm just gonna play around with it. I'll probably switch around some units around just to kind of min-max it and see where we end up with. But general team building, again, Dorothy can handle it alone. Machine gun's good. AoE burster is if you actually time your bursts, it actually works fine. Pierce units is good for additional damage. So Maxwell and Snow White in particular, they can deal more damage than what they should be able to because of like the body parts, their multiple body parts, and the body getting hit as well. And then there's the Pierce units. Actually, I talked about that. SMG is kind of like a good secondary option if you don't have any more machine gun. You saw me on the fight earlier, I was switching to either my assault rifle or SMG. And then shotguns are, in particular for this fight, is actually not that great because if you let the AI kind of deal with it, they actually target, you know, the body parts where their whole circle is actually not hitting the everything, right? So as shotguns are not that great here, although you might see that I did use here, and that's in particular is because there's a few reasons for that. I have Scarlet. I only have one I only have one overload here. My Drake has 3 overloads, and my Moderna has only 1 overload. So like my Drake actually has the highest DPS here, and Guilty is copying Drake's overloads. So in particular, that's the reason why. Other people probably would use something else. Like I probably would recommend like Rupee also. You could use something else. Adme could work. Viper, Quincy actually could work also. And yeah, those are, again, there's the other substitutes there that you could see here. B2 offense, you can just click it, follow it, and there's the substitutes and stuff, all the teams that you can put in. And yeah, if you need a healer, you'll just flex different units. Obviously I put in like the positions where you could like replace them: healer, main DPS, flex, DPS, main DPS. We have product 12. That's a meme, but we have product 12 because she's another burstery machine gun. So if we need a no machine gun team comp, it would be this comp, where basically the goal is to destroy it fast enough, right? That's the no machine gun team comp, right? So we try to just click it. So this is the no machine gun team comp, but that requires us to be gamers, and then we can destroy the mobs good enough. So no MG gamers. So that's the other condition. Sure, we gotta destroy the mobs though. But yeah, that's gonna be the TLDR. Well, actually that's not the TLDR, but that's gonna be the summary of the things that how I would approach this union raid, and like proper too long didn't watch. Hey, whatever it is, you know, if you want to see the more up-to-date, because sometimes I am kind of late on updating this, just go to twitch.tv/KaiJLV. Wow, Pog, what a great streamer. Yeah, just go to my stream anyways. That's the best place to be at and chill. And if you want to see the more up-to-date things, people in the chat actually just kind of say whatever new things that we've found out. I don't care in particular too much about the rankings, that's why I'm sharing all of these, and like people are more helpful and sharing. Washed up streamer, we're folks in chat too. Hey chat, don't say that, don't say that, dude, don't say that. Oh, dude, the video is right there, they're seeing your chat. No, come on chat, come on. All right, that's good, that's about it. Make sure to leave like, comment, and subscribe. Oh my god, yeah, yada yada, you know what it is, you know how it is, boys. Cut. All right, cut. Z-Dart said cut, so we're gonna cut it right here. No, yeah, I guess time to edit out that part. What if I keep this part? Huh? Can we expect some Eversouls content? Should I cut later? No, we're gonna keep going. Chat, keep saying hi YouTube. Actually, why does no one here say hi YouTube? Everyone else in like other streams, when they record, they say hi YouTube, and you guys like suddenly, now you suddenly go silent. Oh, there you go. Mom, I'm on YouTube. Hi Twitch. Yeah, true. Yeah, you're gonna say hi Twitch the moment you start going to Twitch, because you whined about it last time on your YouTube. True. It's fine. Smoj. But I will update this if we find more team comps. And this is how you be more offensive and trying to deal with it properly with the boss. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.